The following podcast will definitely contain adult language and an abundance of sexual innuendos because we're talking about movies about making porn. This week, we're talking The Girl Next Door. Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this episode of the Salty Nerd Podcast. I am your host, Alex, the Salty Nerd, and today we're talking The Girl Next Door. I'm joined, as always, by my fantastic panel of nerds. Tom is here.
Hey, what's up, guys?
The stunt cock.
The stunt cock.
There you go.
I'm in. Let's go.
How you doing, man?
Good, man. Good.
Yeah, pinch hitting for Vader.
Yep.
Yeah. You're welcome, Vader.
Yeah, Vader can't perform, so you come in.
Well, it's not in Vader's contract. It's like whenever the big finale.
It's funny though because we've had you on more like recently. You've jumped in a couple of times, and you were like, "When am I going to get a fucking shirt, dude?"
It's a very good. It's a good plug too.
So I got you a shirt.
Yeah, I've been doing this like pro bono for like 2.5 years now.
It's the least I can get.
I finally got a $19 T-shirt. So. Of all the fucking shit I've done for you, I got a night after 2.5 years.
If it makes you feel any better, I haven't paid myself yet either.
That's good.
I've been doing this for like 2 years.
That's good. Thank you. So I'm making as much.
You brought us a cake.
Yes, you did. 5,000 subscribers.
And there's a bottle of bourbon behind you, and I made meatballs
And some smoked meatballs.
We drank this already.
and the meatballs.
This is the second one.
Oh yeah.
This is good stuff.
Alex liked
Is
it
it
so
good?
much he bought another bottle of it.
Is it good?
It's amazing. Have you not had it?
No, it's Nevada bourbon, isn't it?
Oh, dude.
Nevada.
It's the smoothest.
He's got to go to work.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we have to wrap this shit up.
You have a job.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay. Jude is also here. Welcome.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm great.
And Matthew Kadish.
I liked how you sang the intro today, Alex. This is the Salty
Nerd Podcast. I'm just excited for this to be over.
Well, this is actually my favorite movie of the week. This is one of my all-time favorite movies.
What
Can't
the
wait
fuck
to talk
did
about
you-
it.
This is all-time favorite movies.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! I can't wait to
I
hear
didn't
your
know you
take
felt
on
that
this.
strongly about it.
Oh,
Me
yeah, I love
neither.
this movie.
Wow.
Wow. Wild.
Wow.
This is also my favorite of the week.
Really?
Yeah.
You guys are nerds.
It's not my all-time favorite movie though.
Table split. I didn't like this movie.
I
You didn't like it either?
It's not that it's a bad movie. I just I find it unredeeming and just gross and kind of ugly and not fun.
Everybody's an asshole in this movie.
Everyone's an asshole in this movie. Everyone's awful.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's get into it.
That is not true.
All right. We're going to argue about this movie
Oh, yeah.
as soon as we get back from this real quick YouTube ad thing. Yeah, stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Hey, if you guys want to support the podcast, don't forget to join up for the club membership area. There is where you're going to get all of our podcasts ad-free, plus 4 exclusive podcasts just for our club members. This month, we're talking Star Trek, the original series, and having a ton of fun doing it. So if you're going to join up for any one of the months, this is the one to do it, because we are having a blast talking some classic Kirk and Spock adventures in space. And we would love to have you there. You also get access to a dedicated area in our Discord app. It is only for club members. We have a ton of fun hanging out with you guys there. And also, you guys get to influence what we talk about next for club members. So if you're paying for it, you get to choose what we're talking about. So jump in there and give us your feedback on the club members area. Okay. The Girl Next Door. Jude, take it away.
All right. 2004, The Girl Next Door, rated R with a runtime of 1 hour 49 minutes. This had a budget of $25 million. What do you think?
I want to say 60 million.
All right.
I'm right there with you. I'm like 55. I think this movie did okay. Yeah.
$30 million.
Oh,
No kidding.
bummer.
I thought I felt like it did better than that.
It's got a lot of famous people before they were famous.
That's a good point.
Well, it really found its audience on home video. Like it's one of
another
those.
one, it's another one of those. Yeah.
It's one of those things where like anything that has to do with like making a porn, like when it comes out in theaters, nobody wants to go see it because it's like a public
Taboo.
thing. But once it comes out on home video, people watch the shit out of it.
Oh, there's a
That's a good point.
whole generation of teenage boys that just rented this movie every weekend.
Mhm.
That's when I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was 20 something, but the whole reason I saw it was the premise. I mean, just hot chicks and porn and okay.
Well, just watching Elisha Cuthbert look hot.
Man, she looks hot in
She's
this.
so beautiful.
She's fucking crazy hot in this
Yeah,
movie.
she really is.
Yeah.
All right, what's the synopsis, Jude?
Okay. Athena is an up-and-coming, no pun intended, porn star. She's the darling of the AVNs, but abruptly quits and moves next door to Matthew, a high school senior, who's also starting to feel like he's been all work and no play. She catches him peeping Tomming her and then lures him into her car to even things up, forcing him to streak. Their relationship is off to a cute start until her ex-boyfriend Timothy Olyphant shows up to roofie Matthew and steal all of his Samyang money. After tanking his Georgetown scholarship speech, losing his moral fiber, and getting the shit beat out of him, sometimes you just gotta say, what the fuck? and make a sex ed video at prom. Discuss.
This movie had potential for me. I was like, okay, I could see the storyline kind of unfolding. I really like the relationship of the girl next door and the main actor, like when they first meet each other and they have that back and forth, and she forces him to like strip in the street, and then they become friends and they kind of start hanging out. I was like, oh, this is going to be like a fun, semi-heartwarming movie. And then Timothy Olyphant shows up and he's a complete douchebag. And then it gets real dark, because then it becomes this young girl who was trying to get out of this industry because she obviously didn't want to have sex on camera anymore, but she got forced into it because she didn't feel worthy of a normal life. And then she just kind of like goes along. It went real dark for a long period of time in this movie. And I just was like, God, it kind of was like, it made me feel a little uncomfortable. And I was like, I felt really bad for her. And that's kind of what the movie left me feeling like. It was just, I felt bad for this poor girl.
Yeah. I didn't feel that way at all.
Really?
I felt like she was just a young woman who did porn for a while and was like, I don't really want to do that anymore. And I don't think that she felt shame about it or felt like she was forced into it. I feel like she did it. It wasn't for her. And she didn't want to be, because she didn't want to continue to do it. The fact that Timothy Olyphant was kind of making her do it, that's when the kind of the force comes in. But I don't think her start in this was like gross or icky. It was just, I think I'll try this. All right, now I don't want to.
Well, also within the context of the story structure, so like it's only after she loses like the respect for Matthew, because like he starts treating her like a porn actress, takes her to that sleazy motel, that she decides that she can't escape her, her past, because basically the reason she fell for Matthew is because like he looked at her the way that made her feel normal. And once she realized that she couldn't do that, she was like, well, I might as well just go back to it. And so like when Timothy Olyphant kind of like locks her into, this new porn contract, and Matthew's like trying to like, make amends and be like, hey, you don't have to do this. You can't escape your past. Like I was a jerk. I'm sorry. Like that's kind of like the second act, put the hero in a tree, throw rocks at him, and then like get him back down. So yeah, I mean, it goes dark midway through the movie, but like it's supposed to, because like it's the scenario that, challenges the protagonist, and he has to come up with a plan to rescue the girl. And
then it gets light too when they show you what the actual video was that they made. Yeah, it's really funny.
The bait and switch that they pull at the end, I did like that, because they set it up really well, because I remember like when they revealed what the actual movie was, I was like, oh, they did set that up, because they talked about it earlier when they were watching that like 1950s sex ed video.
This is a really well-written film.
Yeah, it's a good, well-written film. I didn't have any good feelings about it. I was watching it and I was like, Timothy Olyphant's kind of an asshole. The main actor, he has a couple redeeming scenes, but for the most part, I felt like he was kind of an asshole too.
Emile Hirsch?
I don't know, the dude from
Matthew.
Yeah, Matthew.
Okay.
What's his name?
Emile Hirsch.
Okay.
What else is he in?
Into the Woods, or Into the Wilderness.
Oh, Into the Wild. That's
Into the Wild. Yeah.
That movie's fucking awesome.
That's a good movie.
He was also in Wolf of Wall Street, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. He's pretty famous now. There's a lot of like really famous people in this movie.
The other kid's the Riddler, right?
Yeah, the Riddler is in this movie.
So this was like Paul Dano's like first movie.
He was also in There Will Be Blood.
Is it just me, or does it look just like John Lennon in this movie?
Yeah, I can see that with the glasses and shit.
Weird John Lennon thing the whole time.
Yeah. With the hair.
Yeah.
I got you.
And then he's a stupid nerd.
Stupid nerd that's hung, apparently.
Yeah, well, the entire floor of the dorm got together just to watch this dude whip it out.
Can we talk about his other friend?
The worst person in the entire world?
The worst person in the world?
He's the worst.
Like the entire movie.
Eli.
He's not cool.
Dude.
He's not cool. It's not funny.
He's horrible. The first time we see him, or not see him, but the first time we kind of realize the type of person he is. He's on the phone with his friend.
Yeah.
And he's like listening and watching porn.
He's like
and his friend is like, dude, I told you, I don't want to be on the phone with you when you're doing this shit. Yeah. He's like, too bad, buddy.
He's like, learn to like it.
It's freaking disgusting.
Yeah, he's
and
awful.
And then the next scene, he's watching porn with the guy on the couch next to him, and his buddy's literally sitting there going, dude, I don't like this.
Yeah.
And he's like, learn to love it.
And he touches his leg.
I'm like,
It's not funny.
not a friend to have.
It's pretty funny. And you know
That's pretty funny.
As a man who's done this to many men,
you know what's funny about that character Eli is that the filmmakers based him on Eli Roth, the director.
Of course they did.
who they're friends with, and they're like, the way this guy watches porn is the way Eli Roth watches horror movies.
Okay.
That tracks.
Yeah.
But basically the way that he acts, he's like Minions and all this stuff is like, they're like, yeah, this is basically Eli Roth.
Okay. I can see the reference point, but I still didn't like that guy. He was horrible.
Oh yeah, he's the worst.
He's the worst.
See, you're bagging on Timothy Olyphant and his character, but I found like his character is probably one of the most enjoyable aspects of this movie.
yeah, I do like him.
He was
the character. I hate Timothy Oliphant, but I liked his. I hate the act.
I don't understand. Why do you hate him?
Because I think he's pretty and looks weird, and
He gives Tom confusing feelings.
I want to be him.
I feel like I am him sometimes.
I want a Timothy Olyphant suit.
Yeah, no, I just feel like they put him in stuff because he's pretty, but he's not a good actor. And
I disagree with that.
His delivery is always flat to me, and he's just in so many things.
He plays himself most of the time.
Yeah, I know, but I don't like that either.
Okay.
I don't want you to act as yourself.
I disagree. I think that we say things like, "Oh, that guy just plays himself all the time," and it's true. A lot of the time, a lot of actors do that. I disagree in this case.
No, I like his performance. I just don't like Timothy.
Like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, he did not play himself. In this movie, he doesn't play himself. He actually one of the interesting things about his character is like he's like the main antagonist in this movie, but he comes off like at first like you like him because he's being the cool guy. And then, like, once he starts like stealing money and punishing Matthew
And
for
roofing Matthew.
Yeah.
Well, that was just funny.
Yeah,
that was funny.
But I mean, like then he reveals himself to be a threat, and in a weird way, at the end of the movie, they kind of have a mutual respect for one another for kind of like outsmarting each other and stuff like that. And the fact that Matthew was able to basically find success without stealing his idea, won like a lot of brownie points with the character. But the character that he plays in this movie is actually like very interesting to me, and I think he plays it perfectly.
Yeah, I don't like Timothy Olyphant. I think he does a good job in the movie. You're not wrong. I mean, it's a well put together movie. I just think it's real scummy. I'm with you, Alex. Listen, it's just real scummy, and I'm not left heartwarmed in this. And most of the characters are just fucking creepy to me. And like all the bullies are super weird. It reminds me a lot, maybe too much of high school. Like my high school was very much like that, very much like that.
Well, it's a very realistic take on high school,
for like the 90s, for sure it was. Yeah, for sure.
What's interesting about this movie is it's a coming of age film, right? And it's a very good coming of age film, but it started off as it was going to be a remake of Risky Business. And basically somewhere along the development process, they were like, what if we crossed Risky Business with American Pie? And this was the result of that. And Elisha Cuthbert, when she was cast in this movie, she was also doing the second season of 24. And so like she would like shoot 24, then she'd come in and like shoot her scenes for like this movie.
Much different character.
Yeah. But I think that this movie, because it underperformed, actually hurt her career.
Yeah, I wish that she was in more stuff.
Yeah, but I liked, like, every time I watch this movie, I'm like, this is basically a Risky Business, but it's like a different version of it.
I get that vibe.
And I love it. I love this movie. Like, it just, like, by the end of the movie, like, it has like so many like good heartwarming lessons about like friendship and relationships and love and sex and what it takes to succeed in life and how to be like the whole theme of this movie is moral fiber, right? Like how do you find your moral compass when you're dealing with like crazy like
the outside world
and stuff like that. Yeah. And so like I feel like the themes of this movie are very strong. I feel like the acting in this movie is very strong. The writing is excellent in this movie. Everything about it, I just love. I can watch this movie 1,000 times and never be bored watching it.
There was a scene that I thought was particularly funny is when they were in the strip club. Timothy Olyphant takes Matt to the strip club, and Matt is like a fish out of water in this scene. He doesn't know what's going on.
He's trying to act so cool.
Trying to be cool. He's smoking a freaking giant cigar. I'm like, this is ridiculous. And then he sees his father's friend, and Timothy Olyphant just completely outs the guy. and bring that whole scene, the interaction between all three of those characters was freaking hilarious.
And it leads to the most awkward lap dance ever.
Oh
Yes,
my God.
dude,
That's
the lap
so
dance.
horrifying.
It's like, hey man, why don't you buy him a lap dance? And then they're like sitting right next to each other. This chick's got her boobs in the dude's face, and they're just like, so how's that scholarship going?
And you know what's funny about that scene is, so like when they were shooting this movie, Emile Hirsch was underage, like he was under 18. And so for that scene in particular, they had to like put pillows on his lap to keep the dancer from actually touching him.
Jesus Christ.
Because like technically he was a minor.
Oh no, okay. So that's another thing. I didn't know if I wanted to bring it up in this movie, but I was a little weirded out about the time frame that this is put in, like sophomore to senior. Like these kids aren't seniors.
They're seniors.
Yeah, they're seniors.
Are they seniors?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's going to Georgetown.
Okay.
Not to mention he's student body president and like the least cool person in the school.
Yeah.
Well,
How is that even possible?
He is supposed to be 18,
Yeah.
but he's still finishing up high school.
academic popularity is different than popularity.
Still.
Two different things.
Yeah, I mean, I was student class president.
You're
You're really-
not cool.
I'm definitely not cool. But
That's a fucking good point.
you just need to get enough of your friends to vote for you because no one else cares enough to vote.
I guess it's weird to me
It's
because
like getting accredited on Rotten Tomatoes.
yeah.
Boo.
When I was in graduating high school, I was like 16, 17 years old.
You were 16
What?
when you graduated high
Yeah,
school?
I graduated young.
I was 17. Yeah.
I was 17 also.
Yeah, I was
So
17.
like, there's
but I
always
had a
this
summer birthday.
with these like teen sex movies that are out there all the time. There was always like that weird like line that they try to ride, where like, yeah, you're still in school, but you're also old enough to film some of
Yeah,
this
I
shit.
found her very predatory because she's
Oh, yeah.
she's a seasoned woman.
This is a hooker.
And he's
a hooker.
He's a child.
Yes.
So
He's a virgin.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't sleep with her until like the end of the movie, and he is like changing. He is ruining his life for this girl he saw half her tit, and then she like molests him and throws him in the street. And I was like,
And by the way,
this is love to you.
when we see the porno that she had been in with the
Kung Fu guys.
the kung fu, oh my god.
I kind of want to watch. I'd watch that porno. It's very. I got Orgasmo vibes, so it was very
Yes,
good. It was like
it's very Orgasmo
Yeah.
vibes.
Well, what's funny is like I feel like the kind of like sexual like belief system that a lot of these guys have in high school, it's very similar to like the stuff like me and my friends believed when we were like that age in high school, like growing up and being like, oh, like sex is like so cool. It's like I wish I could have it like right now, blah blah blah, and like all these misconceptions you have about girls and like you know like hooking up and stuff like that.
Blowjobs.
Yeah. And you know, like in my later years, like, you know, I dated some crazy women. And so like I understand like what they go through when like you know you're dealing with like a girl and all of her baggage and like previous boyfriends or guys who like them and don't like you and stuff like that.
this
So
sexy ass Timothy Olyphant comes over smoking
yeah.
cigarettes.
like,
God.
so, I mean, I've dealt with guys like that before, like
Yeah.
depending on who I was dating at the time. And it's just like one of those things where like I feel like a lot of the stuff in this movie rings very true to me. And that's one of the reasons why I feel like it's authentic and I like it like so much.
You
Because
should
like
teach a class on this fucking movie because you were trying to like academically preach this movie to me, and I'm just like, oh yeah, you're right, Matt. I know, but I still don't like it.
well, you don't like it because you're saying that it's hitting true to you. And
A lot of it does,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, maybe that is the bigger issue. A lot of this, I mean, a lot of it. This very much reminds me of my high school, like very much. I went to a real like preppy high school, so we had like a lot of that, like we're the cool kids. Like I wasn't by any means not like
I feel like you went to the same high school that Joe Young and Orgasmo did.
what
a Mormon high school.
a Mormon high school.
Yeah. I feel like
well,
that was
Are you
young
down with
Tom.
Jesus, Tom?
I mean, JC,
It's my boy.
me and JC, you know, we drink wine, we hang out. I've had the blood of Christ. But you know, I don't know. Maybe you are right. Like maybe I do see too much of myself and Timothy Olyphant in this movie. Maybe the high school is a little too reminds me of how shitty high school could be, and how awful and ostracizing it is. So yeah, okay, maybe it's all hitting a little too close to home. But as weird, pervy porno friend, I could do without.
I think we all could.
He makes me super uncomfortable the entire time. He's like, if you don't fuck her, I'll kill myself.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God. In front of everybody? That was so crazy.
But I mean, like, haven't you ever had a friend like that?
no, no one's had a friend like that.
Maybe it's because I went to film school, but yeah, I've had friends like that.
I've had friends like that.
I've never known anyone that horny and desperate.
Me neither.
Never.
You need to get out more.
Bro.
They need to get out more.
Yeah.
All right. On that note, we're going to take a quick break, guys, and we'll be right back. We're going to finish up this movie. Welcome back, everybody. Hey, real quick, if you guys want to support us and our channel, you can go to saltynerdstore.com and grab some of our merch. We really appreciate it. We have a ton of really cool designs there, and you guys can get the official logo, which is what I'm wearing right now. And we'd love to see pictures. So if you do buy some of our stuff, send over some photos of us on our Discord or somewhere like that. We'll share it out there on Instagram and whatnot and say a big fat thank you. We'd appreciate it. Word of mouth goes a long way. So if you're wearing one of our shirts and somebody asks you about it, it gives you an opportunity to let them know about your favorite podcast. All right.
So real quick, I want to talk about this one scene in the movie where Timothy Olyphant's at high school and he's there to pick up Matt, and he's talking with these 3 high school chicks, one of which is Olivia Wilde, who just plays like a minor role in this movie. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if she was up for like the main role and she got beat out by Elisha Cuthbert. So he's talking to these 3 girls, and he's kind of like working his magic on them.
Talk about predators.
Yeah, talk about predators. But he's like, oh man, there's a lot of talent at this school. But he gets the girls like really interested in him, and like he shows like the weed and the drugs basically, and then like he just kind of like pulls away, and he's like, okay, see you later.
Always wanting more.
Yeah. The girls are like, wait, don't you want to film us? And he's like, nah. And all the high school boys, Matthew's friends, are like just like in awe of like what he's pulling off there, and he's just like always leaving wanting more boys.
Yeah, Timothy Olyphant.
It's the best scene in the movie with Timothy Olyphant's character.
You guys want to talk about the heist at the porn producer's house or whatever?
I didn't even need this.
Yeah. James Remar is in this as like a rival porn producer, and he's fantastic.
Yeah,
he's hilarious. But here's a great thing about Timothy Olyphant's character in this movie. Like, I was pretty much sold on the idea that he was actually on Matthew's side for a lot of this movie.
You were.
I was like, oh, he's trying to actually be helpful with him, and then it freaking goes.
Sweet summer child.
Then it turns.
You totally would have gotten duped by Timothy Olyphant.
I probably was like, he's so freaking cool, guys. Like
I feel like Alex has a dark history that he will not talk about. Like, he met this really cool older man one time, and like they were buddies.
And then it went fucking south.
And then it got weird real quick.
But like, they didn't offer Alex a stunt cock.
Oh,
God damn it. Like Timothy Olyphant is like hanging out with him. And he's trying to get him. He's like, hey, we're going to go to this thing. You owe me, dude. Remember, you owe me. I'm on your side. And then he just starts fucking punching the dude in the face, like railing. And then the way it's filmed, it's like it's from Matt's perspective. And you just see Timothy Olyphant just like punching the camera. It's like aggressive. And then you're like, holy shit, this guy is not on your side, dude.
And then he's like, I'm sorry, that was super aggressive of me. I shouldn't have done that.
It was so, I couldn't get a beat on him. I'm like, is this guy crazy? Or like, what's going on right here? And then he leaves him in the lurch at this porn producer's house, and he calls the cops on him. And I was like, that's so freaking... And he
steals some young money.
And he stole the $30,000 for the kid.
He didn't steal it. That dumb chick at the bank just said, oh, it's the guy who liked my earrings. Here's $30,000. Yeah. No signature required.
And then when Matthew goes to get the money, she's like, you're in big trouble. No,
bitch.
bitch.
No. Bitch, you gave him the money.
Yeah.
Bro, he could have fucking got that money from the bank. Like that crazy broad just gave the money to the handsome man who was nice to her that one time. It's all that happened.
Yeah.
No one ever complimented her earrings before.
Well, she went to Cabo. I don't know. She was doing some shit. Well, she went to Secrets.
The funny part,
on a girls trip.
Yeah.
The funny part about that heist scene is that Matthew, it's the day that he has to give his speech for that scholarship to Georgetown, and it's like his entire future is like hanging in the balance. And throughout the movie, we've seen him kind of practicing his speech, invoking John F. Kennedy and all this other stuff. And what happens is that Kelly, Timothy Olyphant's character, roofies him, and, like drugs him up.
Ecstasy.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. And so like...
makes them real loosey-goosey.
Molly for the kids.
Yeah. and so like on the way to the speech, he's changing into a suit and stuff like that. He's got bloody face, messed up hair. And then he starts tripping balls. And by the time he gets to the function where he has to give his speech, he is gone. And Elisha Cuthbert's there, and she's trying to like help him through. And while he's sitting there listening to the other people do the speech, one of the guys steals his John F. Kennedy line, and he just starts cracking up because he's like, of course this happens to me. And then he gets up there and he just kind of throws his speech away and speaks from the heart. And he legit has the best speach of the group. But because it was just so honest, like they can't award it to him.
I disagree. I thought that was really anticlimactic, honestly. When he goes up there and gives his speech, and it's all just about how freaking hot his girlfriend is and how much in love he is with her.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is fucking retarded, dude.
He's a virgin.
Yeah,
who has a hot whore as a girlfriend who he's not had sex with.
And he's just
like, you know what? It's all about just love.
He's just got the rose-colored glasses on.
It's the juice is worth the squeeze.
Yeah,
but it's the most genuine speech of the group.
Well, genuine, yes.
Yeah,
but
that's not what they asked for.
Yeah. Why do you deserve
moral fiber? Nobody wants to hear you talking about your hot girlfriend squeezing her juices.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm like.
And then they all looked at her, and half the dudes were like, I know her.
well, speaking of it, there's another great scene in this movie where Matthew finds out that she used to be a porn actress. And it turns out he goes downstairs and she's there visiting and talking with his mom. Mm-hmm. And he starts picturing her sucking his dad off.
My God.
And, making out with his mother.
Yeah, that was super awkward.
So
they're sitting on the couch and they're looking at baby photos. Obviously she starts kissing his mom.
It was the hottest thing I've ever seen.
Whoa. Dude. His dad walks up with his hands on his hips and he's like, you want some more water? And she's like, what? I'm like, oh my God.
I was so into that scene. I was like Matthew's right. Cinema is amazing.
But it's one of those things where I think I've known guys growing up who they find out about their girlfriend's sexual history and they just can't handle it. And it's just like one of those things where I feel like that scene was very relatable, even though it was funny, but it was also disturbing at the same time.
Very disturbing. I don't know, man. Do you guys want to do final thoughts? You have any, or do you had a story to tell, Jude, or do you want to tell it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So you were talking about the awkward lap dance in the movie, and it took me right back to the time I had a really awkward lap dance. So you all know I used to work in a spa, and one of my first spa jobs, this guy used to come into the spa all the time, and he was close friends with my manager. And one day she was like, "Hey, Jimmy really likes you. He wants to take you on a date." And I was like, okay. So I went out with this guy. We met at Buffalo Wild Wings. We had a drink, and he was like, "All right, I'm gonna take you to a really special place." And he took me to a strip club, and he bought me a lap dance. And in this strip club, you have the main floor, and then you kind of go through the corridor to the private rooms, and it was just me and him and a dancer, and it was very awkward, and it was all just the rubbing on the face with the boobs and then her and my boobs, and it was extremely awkward. So I just started asking her, I started a conversation with her, and I just started asking her, because I worked at a spa, and I was like, "So what, do you wax or shave, or it's very smooth?" And I gave her my card. And
you were networking?
What?
Yeah, and she started coming to me for treatments. And I never saw that guy again. The next day, my boss was like, "So, how was your date?" And I was like, really fucking awkward.
This dude took you on a date so he could watch another girl grind up on you?
I guess. I got the impression that was the thing that he does.
I get it.
Yeah. And then he ended up marrying one of my clients.
Tom, as a dude in the dating world,
yeah,
would you ever pull a move like that? Have you?
What?
Get the fuck out of here.
It's not how I met Jude, by the way. I'm a fun guy,
Oh my God, that was not the answer I expected.
I've done a lot of weird shit, man. Just be cool, all right?
I've been married for too fucking long, dude.
There's no need to shame Tom. It's just, life's cool, bro. Just relax.
That's a bold move, dude.
It is a bold move.
That's a bold move.
Well, you don't just take them. You don't just.
It sounded like he just took her.
Yeah,
he did it wrong. No, he did it wrong. You gotta Timothy Olyphant this shit. You gotta set it up.
Okay.
And you gotta kind of
has anybody ever
mental manipulation? Yeah, it's a little head game. You've been to a strip club? Yeah, I've been to a strip club. Oh, I bet you wouldn't go right now. Oh, I'd go right now.
Oh, reverse psychology.
It's a little head game. Yeah.
This is how you do it.
Wow.
This is how you do
I'm
it.
so glad I'm not in the dating world.
I wish I wasn't. I swear to God. I'm so tired of this shit.
It's a lot.
It's so much effort.
I hear his stories all the time, and I'm like, God damn.
11 years and strong, man.
Take
This
a
is-
nap.
I'm off the market. It's great. Fuck
Yeah.
all that shit.
I'm an explorer by nature. I have an adventurous spirit.
We're gonna Indiana Jones way through this.
Yeah, just gonna, I don't know.
All right, let's wrap this up. Final thoughts on this movie. You didn't like it, so what do you give this for a rating? It's not a bad movie, but it's just not your thing.
Matt always makes good points. If Matt says something, it's usually worth listening to, and he is very factual about a lot of the points he makes in this movie. That being said, I think it's weird and creepy. The only things that I enjoyed about it were the sexiness, and that's about it. Like, it is sexy, and that's really the only fun parts. His friends are creepy.
Yeah.
All the kids at the school are awful. I don't understand half the things they do in this movie. I don't know. It's not for me.
Mhm.
Matt's not wrong. It's not a bad movie, but I don't like it, so I'm giving it a bad rating. It's a 2.5 for me. 2.5 giant boner statues for no reason, just because it's creepy, and it's just not a comfortable movie. I agree with you. I feel like she's kind of like a victim the entire time, and his friend is such a freaking pervert.
Yeah.
And I always feel bad for the loser crew, because it's like there's always like this horrible, like, they're not even cool. They're just like horrible. Like nobody wants to be friends with that director kid. Nobody wants to be friends with the Riddler. They're weirdos.
The Riddler.
They're weirdos.
Yeah.
This is the origin story for the Joker.
Yeah,
Like, for real.
Talking about the ending
For the
of this
Riddler.
movie, we get the reveal that
It's the weirdest part of the whole movie.
the movie that they filmed during prom was a sex ed movie that they were
Yeah.
going to sell to like the school board across America for whatever reason, to like update the sex ed videos. But they actually showed this teenager's dick in this video.
Yeah.
And everybody across the United States that got a copy of this sex ed video was like, here it comes, guys. This is the scene where we get to see that kid's dick. It's fucking weird.
It's fucking weird.
Super weird.
It's so weird.
And he was sitting there and he's just like smiling to himself. This is my dick. I'm like, no.
Well, the whole thing about like his character's arc in this movie is that like he feels like he's unattractive. He feels like no one would ever like him. And then like when he finds out that like girls are like super into his dick because it's so big, he's like, oh, like I do have value. Like there is reason to like
That's
me.
the saddest thing I've ever heard you say.
That's so weird. I'm with Tom. It's a 2-star movie for me. Jude, how about you?
I like this movie. I've watched it several times. It is not one of my all-time favorite movies, but it was my favorite this week. And I think it's fun. Yes, there are definitely some dated aspects to it and some horrible characters in it. But enjoyability-wise, I mean, this has rewatchability all over it. So, along with a bunch of jizz. So for me, I give it 4 out of 5 Samyungs.
Okay. 4 out of 5. That's strong. Holy shit. Okay. Kadish, how about you?
All right, so we didn't even talk about like Samyang or Samsung.
I'm gonna fuck that dude.
Okay. I thought I was wasted. That really happened, right? Why was that in the movie?
right.
Why was that in the movie? Why were they going to rape him?
I don't know.
What was that?
Because he's so effeminate. So-
Why does Matt relate to this?
Well, part of the subplot in this movie is that Matthew is trying to raise enough funds to bring over a very talented foreign exchange student named Samyang from Cambodia.
Yeah.
And
the whole school just looks at him as like a mascot.
Yeah,
And
But that's actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of
yeah,
funny.
and they keep getting his name wrong. They keep calling him Samsung instead of Samyang. And for some reason, there's like this running gag where all the jocks in the school are like, I want to fuck that dude. And they keep saying it.
It's so weird.
Super weird, dude. I don't get the joke.
But
I don't get the joke.
I mean, it's just.
I
it's
think they were
kind of-
serious.
No, I think they were serious too.
They raped that one kid in the quad, and they were like high-fiving him in the beginning, and I'm like, what is happening right now?
But I always thought that was kind of like a funny subplot, and it does play into the movie because in order to, Timothy Olyphant's character steals the fund to bring him over, and so Matthew has to figure out a way to replace that money, and then he comes up with his like sex ed scheme.
Yeah. And how to, go to college without the scholarship.
Mhm.
I mean, did Timothy Olyphant steal that money? I mean, I'll go back to this. Did he steal that money?
He stole the money.
Or did that dumb chick give him $30,000?
Well, both.
There you go. It wasn't Ocean's 11. He didn't like.
I mean, she
he didn't crack the vault.
She didn't come to his house with $30,000. He went to the bank to get it.
Well,
Even easier.
Emile Hirsch told her that he was the student advisor in charge of, the
Yeah.
foreign exchange thing. And so she just assumed
Mr.
that, like,
Salinger.
yeah.
Wow.
She just assumed that he had the rights to the funds and handed it over, even though, like, yeah, you guys are right. The bank would have had to pony up the money because that
Yeah.
was their mistake.
Yeah.
But within the context of the story, like,
She'll
it
never
made
work in banking again.
but this movie,
She has to go become a porn
It's
star.
a very...
Sorry, Kate.
it's a very well written movie. It's a very well directed movie. The acting in it's very good. It's got good heart to it. I find that the humor works. I love Timothy Olyphant's character. I think he's very interesting. Everything about this movie to me just works, and I have a good time watching it. I've watched it numerous times. To me, this is 5 lap dances out of 5. This is a 5-star movie.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
But are they awkward lap dances?
Yes, there are awkward lap dances.
Non-erotic lap
Yeah,
dances?
non-erotic, but
Asymmetrical tit lap dances.
but I mean, like this movie, it's just like, it's a very solid, very good movie. Like, I feel good every time I watch it. It's a good coming of age film, and it's fun. It's not something that you take too seriously, and it's relatable. And I feel like the people who made this movie really kind of understood the high school experience at the time. At least, like, at the time I went to high school.
No, for real.
So,
Yeah, no, this is
yeah.
very much reminds me of high school. Very much.
Yeah. I'll say I just remembered the scene when the 2 friends of Matthew went to the porn convention or whatever.
Avian Awards.
The Avian Awards. That shit was funny when they went
Yo,
upstairs.
touch my wife's tits.
Touch my wife. And they're like, these guys are directors. She's all excited about it.
Another weird scene. It makes
Yeah.
no sense. Who cares if they're directors?
I mean,
He's
like,
like,
have
dude,
you
you
ever
gotta-
been to the Avian
You gotta
Awards?
put my wife in your movie.
The weirdest part is before that, when they're just coming into the AVNs and they're like, "Oh, we're just doing this for our high school newsletter."
Oh, and
or
they're
whatever,
totally fine with
yearbook-
it.
Yeah, video yearbook, and they're like, "Come on in, guys." I'm
Yeah.
like, "That would never
No,
happen."
I don't know if you guys have
You
ever
need
been
a
to the
ticket
Avian
to
Awards.
No,
that.
never been.
But I mean, like, that was pretty accurate.
They don't give a shit.
You have to buy a ticket.
Well, this was in the 90s or whatever. 2000.
No, it was 2008
Yeah.
or 2004.
No, this is 4. Yeah.
Yeah,
2004.
yeah.
It's
Okay.
4.
It's weird how this feels like an older movie.
Well, it is.
Compared to
It's
like Zach and
18
Miri.
It's like 18 years old.
Zach and Miri, it was from 2008, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That feels more like a modern movie than this, but it was only
True.
4 years apart.
Well, they didn't have cell phones in this movie, but they did have cell phones in Zach and Miri.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
It's only 4 years apart, and
Yeah.
like the whole context changed.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it. That's two out of stars. You're 4.
2.
He's a 5-star. Okay.
5 star.
All right.
I'd love to see Matt's list of 5-star movies because I can't believe.
Never would have thought this would be on it.
Never would have believed it.
It's also his favorite porn.
Ah!
All right. That's it for this week's theme. What a theme it was. Freaking movies about making porn. Comment below.
Get
What-
out there and get your fleshlights.
Yep. Go. Not sponsored.
Yet.
But if they want to sponsor,
But if they want, we have a box right here. It's open.
We'll plug that shit.
in more ways than
Literally.
one. Hey,
All right. Tom, where can they find photos of your flashlight?
I don't have any flashlights. That's just rude.
Okay, mister, I'm going to take a girl on a date to a strip.
That's not what I said.
Indiana Jones
It's a lot of fun.
walking into a strip club with a bullwhip.
I'm a lot of fun. All right. I'm a fun guy. If you really want to look me up, you can find me on Instagram, Big T2681. Come say hi. Be a friend.
Okay. Jude, how about you?
Thank you for being a friend.
Isn't that
You've got a friend in me.
Wasn't it the theme of the Golden Girls?
You've got a friend
My
in
golden
me.
girl.
Yeah. We're going to be old ladies together.
Yeah, I'm the rose to his Blanche.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fucking rent's expensive.
You can find me at I am Jude Juju on Instagram and on TikTok.
All right. Matthew Kadish.
You can find me at Matthew Kadish, Kadish on Twitter. Kadishbooks.com takes you to our Amazon page. And be sure to sign up for our newsletter over at saltylist.com. We send it out every week and we give you updates as to what we're doing. We'd appreciate it if you signed up there.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching the video. Appreciate it. Like having you guys here, and we enjoy doing what we do. So don't forget to support us. saltynerdclub.com is where you can go to become a patron and get access to all kinds of really cool stuff. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Stay salty.